Wow, it's really great to be settled here in Moorea. Our trip was easy from Huahine and we are very thankful to be here. One thing we did notice on the way was that our nav light is out. So this morning we are gonna get started on trying to figure out what is wrong. Here's our new lamp and we've got a nice conduit box here which will house the excess wire, which is much better than what the moorings base did, which was just to leave the wires exposed. They just taped them up.
They re-drilled and never buy a boat from the Grenada base. They are
disaster.
a bunch of monkeys.
Well, there's a clear indication as to what's going on and why this is no longer working. It is soaking wet in here, just completely corroded. Look how green those wires are. Given the location of where the nav lights are, there is no excuse for the moorings base to have done such a bad job in replacing that light and then leaving all of the wires exposed. Shame on us. We've had the boat for 5 years. We've never done anything about it, but they're the ones who should have done it correctly. Brown stripping the wire and finding that underneath it's all black, so we might have to pull wire. So I've made myself some avocado toast. Oh, I'm making myself some avocado toast because it might be a really long day. Oh boy, this job just got a lot harder. He stripped all the way to the last part of it that we can see, and the wire's still bad. It's probably gonna be bad for several feet. So we're gonna have to pull wire. At least we're not going and doing an overnight trip anytime soon. It's not an urgent thing. So as far as we can tell, this, oh, it does move. Okay. We think this comes down through here, runs through the crossbeam, which we can see the wire right there, and goes into the bow forward cabin. This, I don't know how to deal with, but we're gonna have to figure that out. Anyway, we're gonna have to cut the wire at some point and just look to see if there is corrosion when the corrosion ends. Might be able to pull a little bit more through.
Good.
Okay, you got a little bit more.
Oh,
Till you feel tension.
that's really good.
That's all I've got here.
Okay. Let me, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna cut it back a good bit. Huh, it's looking a little better maybe.
If that doesn't work, then we're gonna have to run some wire.
All right, I need it now to cut this off.
Babe, we've come a long way. We never could have done this
no.
a few years ago.
Totally.
No, black. Got all the whale boats out there. Everyone's swimming with whales today.
Also, we can get the voltmeter and test, because it could be that the light's just out. Yeah, that looks good.
Oh, that's good.
Red wire doesn't look so.
Yeah,
There's some
black.
copper.
Yeah. All right, here's the moment of truth. We're gonna test the voltage here. See if we've got anything.
I don't think we're getting enough volts.
You think we are?
No, I don't think so.
So the choice is either we cut it here and see if there's any good wire, or we go into the boat.
The good thing is we got plenty of wire. You know, that's the...
Well, I mean, one thing we could try is just cutting it here and see what happens, see what the wire looks like.
I'd much rather have a connection be inside the boat where it doesn't go well.
We've got to clear all
We love
this
it.
out.
We love boat work, don't we, sweetie?
Oh, man. It took us about 10 minutes, but we've cleared a path out. Everything else is a big mess, but get the job done. My task is to create a mouse line with this Dyneema. You need to really secure this line to the end of this wire, because when we pull it through, it will be an absolute disaster if that end comes loose. So, a little nervous about this. So I've run into a little bit of an issue. The hole that is up here is very small and I can't fit the mouse line through it. All right, guys, you're used to Ian being on our boat doing amazing boat projects, and he is back on our boat again. We haven't seen him in 7, 8 months, but of course, he brilliantly came up with a solution for our wire problem.
He really made us feel stupid, too, at the same time, so we hate him. We love him and we hate him.
They had brownies, so I came over.
Chocolate.
Ladies, he can be bribed with chocolate brownies.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
There we
Good
go.
job.
It's open right here.
Nice. Right.
This might have been the rewire.
Yeah.
Right.
Because blue and brown is like the old wiring coloring.
Because these don't
Right.
work anymore because of the...
Yeah, the lightning strike.
I'm going to replace
Yeah,
those.
and instead of
Right.
routing it all through outside again, they just said this is probably good enough.
So I was worried about the mouse line and losing the mouse line, and what Ian's saying is,
Right, let's just cut it
if we
here.
cut it here, we can just pull and splice in a line here, making it longer from here, and we get to keep the current line that's in there and not worry about it. The only thing we don't know is how far we're gonna have to cut to get good wire, but my gosh,
Man, this
Ian,
is
you're
like-
so
It's
smart.
right now, it's practically fixed in my mind. It's like...
All right, done. Done? All right. Wow. We got some extra wire. That's good.
You have some wire strippers.
Well, it still looks
Yeah.
black, huh?
Yeah, one definitely looks different than the other.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
That
Yeah.
blue wire
know.
looks terrible.
I wonder if
does.
they even use marine grade.
That's
Like,
bad in there still.
yeah, it is bad.
Let's look right here.
Huh.
That's getting better.
Better?
Yeah, let me try it.
That's getting better. But we still have a lot more we can pull through.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
then.
it's better. Oh my gosh, much
wow,
better.
much better.
Still got
Still
a little...
not great, but
Oh, we keep going then.
Yeah, hold on, let's see.
Here, give me that. Yeah, we got to keep going. We'll go a little bit more.
Oh man, this is like solution.
We can just go to the end, but it's kind of fun to see how far away.
Still getting a little.
you think?
Yeah, look at that. That's
Still not good.
Okay.
your hatches are closed.
Yeah. How's it going there, babe?
Yeah, that's
It's a lot wider, right?
Mm-hmm. It is. That hole's pretty big.
Looks big initially, but then it tapers.
It's
The angle.
corner that's going to be
Yeah.
a little funny, but I bet. I mean, if we can get it, let's put the mouse through. And
Yeah.
if we can
see if
get
we
it
can
going.
through. Oh yeah, it's going. Oh, it's going through.
Get it. We're good, Brown.
Oh, you got. Wow.
Yeah. So then what? Then just keep weaving it like this?
Yeah. Time to pull. Tell me when you're ready. Might need you to push it through.
Yeah, ready.
Go when you're ready.
Yep.
All right.
Easy. You want to take it.
Hey Brown, can you pull this through? The wire that I'm pushing. All right, Ian's down below. We've just pulled it all the way in. Mouse line goes up to here. Now we gotta try and run new line. It's ruined all the way to the end.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't.
No, we're good right
But
here.
you just didn't have enough to take it through.
Got it.
So we're not going to try to do the big wire. We're going to wait till we get the smaller wire. I would do that.
Today's a big day for us, a day that we've been waiting for over a year. We are going to swim with the whales, something that everyone has done before us. We missed it in our first season because we wanted to spend so much time in the Tuamotus. And this season I said we absolutely need to swim with the humpbacks. So today we're going out with Dr. Poole from 8:30 in the morning till 12:30. And we're gonna take you along with us. Very, very excited. It's been raining and really weird weather. Obviously we're going through the change from winter to spring. And I'm hoping today we're gonna get a better day for us while we're out there looking for those whales. Whew, cannot believe the day is here. Dinghy's all set. We're ready to go. From the dock, we could see several boats already out in the blue, and we knew snorkelers were in the water. Because only 3 boats and 18 swimmers are allowed near the whales at any one time, we had to wait about 45 minutes for our turn. The certified tour boats cannot approach closer than 300 feet, so getting to the whales requires a decent swim in open ocean. We're used to that, but many of the other passengers weren't, and they struggled with both the distance and the sea state. Whale watching is often a waiting game. The adult whales surface only every 20 minutes or so, but the calves come up much more frequently, about every 5 minutes. We positioned ourselves just behind the mother whale, and within a minute she surfaced with her baby gliding right past us. It was incredible, but far too short an encounter. Another whale soon began chasing the pair, so we climbed back into the boat to reposition and try again. For the next 30 minutes, we followed the 2 whales by boat, completely entertained by their breaches, tail slaps, and playful surface behavior. They were mesmerizing to watch, but we were eager to get back in the water with them. Collecting the whale skin after they breach, because they lose a lot of their skin when they breach. The whales kept pushing farther and farther away from Moorea towards Tahiti, and finally our guide gave us the green light to jump in again. We timed it perfectly with the female coming up for air. The current was strong, so we had to fin hard to keep up with the mother and her calf. Most of our group drifted back and were picked up by the boat, but we were rewarded with several incredible opportunities to see the pair up close. Watching the little one mirror its mother, rising and dipping with such effort and curiosity was pure magic. One of the main reasons for the new regulations is to protect the whales from snorkelers and boats getting too close and causing them stress or even physical harm. That's why it was so surprising and honestly really disappointing to see a guide allow a photographer to approach a whale closely enough to clearly disturb it. When a humpback swings its pectoral fin side to side, it's a warning signal that it's uncomfortable and wants more space. In this case, the whale's fin actually made contact with the swimmer. She was incredibly lucky the whale reacted gently, because a full force movement from an adult humpback can be extremely dangerous.
So the mother normally stays down for about 20 minutes and the baby comes up every 5 minutes. Hopefully we'll get the mom coming up this time. I'm ready for baby to get curious and come closer.
Humpback whales make this journey to French Polynesia every single year after migrating thousands of miles from the icy waters of Antarctica. They come here to mate and to give birth, choosing these warm, sheltered lagoons as a safe nursery for their newborn calves. During their entire time in French Polynesia, adult humpbacks don't eat at all. They fast for the season, relying solely on the huge energy reserves they build up during months of feeding in Antarctica. The mothers pour everything into nursing and protecting their calves, teaching them how to surface, how to breathe, and how to navigate the open ocean before they eventually make the long journey back south. With that in mind, every encounter feels even more precious. These moments are a tiny glimpse into a short but critical chapter of their lives, a chapter they repeat year after year in the same ancient rhythm. Wow, guys, we just had the most incredible experience swimming with the whales. I think it far surpassed what we had hoped it would be. It was, wow, just mind-blowing.
Yeah, and it's kind of a dream come true. There's few things that the Admiral has not done in her life. Swimming with whales is one of those things. One thing that's really encouraging is since the 1960s, when whaling was banned, there were hardly any whales left in the world. They had just been totally decimated. Now they're coming back. And each year there are more and more. I wish the coral reefs were like that, getting more healthy.
Yeah.
But there are more and more babies being had. That makes it really special to see the baby. And we were able to hang out with them for a couple of hours.
Yeah, we were in the water swimming really hard, finning hard against the current. We ended up halfway between Moorea and Tahiti. It was so far out there from where we had begun, but we were thankful that they were persistent in following these whales.
That's one good thing about going with Dr. Poole. You learn a lot. He's a scientist and he loves to tell you what he knows. What makes him so unique is he came here from the University of California, Berkeley, which actually has their own facility in Cook's Bay. And he came here in 1987, married a Polynesian woman. He has 2 kids. And he's a researcher both of dolphins and whales. And he's the one that started the whole whale tourism business. And he did it just to fund his research, because these guys, if they don't get grants, or even if they do get grants, there's never enough money. So that's how he got started. He's the one that started it all. And I think now there are like 40 tour boats. It's a huge industry. And he is the one that knows more than any of the other ones do, because they're really not scientists. And he's the one who's come up with a lot of these rules in order to protect the whales, to protect the experience.
So we've learned a ton today. It was such a great experience. We can't recommend it enough. If you're here in the months of middle of June all the way till middle of November, book a tour, book with Dr. Poole. His information will be in the show notes, so don't hesitate to be in touch with him.